there everyone. Thank you for joining me today, and my name is Anna and this is my crafting world. So okay, I had problems for 2 days, ladies, trying to make a box, and for some whatever reason I could not get that box made. I mean, none of the measurements were working out, and anyway, I did get the measurements off of a YouTube video that I had seen, and it just wasn't working for me. So I thought, oh, the heck with it. Let me try to make one myself and do my own measurements. So this is what I came up with. I came up with a 4x4 box. I needed a box to store something in that I didn't want to get crushed. So it's a 4x4 box that I have created, and I went with 4x4 because it's an easy number. So this is the lid to my box. Overall it didn't come out bad, really. I just added this negative piece from, I cut this out in the center, and I used the negative, well, I mean, it was supposed to be the positive. So I used this die cut from one of the other boxes, and I just added some flowers on the top, and the inside of the box I added a little color at the bottom, and it's not bad. I think it came out fairly well. Guys, me and my measurements, I just don't do measurements well, but this one came out pretty cool. So this paper line is Bo Bunny, I believe. Yes, Bo Bunny. So there's the first one. This is the second one. As you can tell, it's still Bo Bunny because of the flowers on there. I added a little trim, and I added this piece at the bottom. A friend of mine makes digital images and whatnot, and so I downloaded this one and added some flowers again, and on this one I added the borders around the box, and this is two-sided paper, so the back of the inside of the lid is has a print, and this one I didn't add anything at the bottom, but they came out pretty good. I mean, I was happy with it. But this is the reason that I was trying to make a box. It was a certain size because I wanted the window in the front, but it wasn't working. So this is my box that I created, trying to use my brain here, and I added, okay, so let me go through the box. The box is this is cardstock, and it is double-sided, like I said, but one thing that I noticed is that if I use the 110-pound cardstock, I feel like it's much better. But of course I can't do that with the lid because I wanted a print on there. This lid is a 65-pound cardstock as well, but on one of them I used the 110, this one. I used the 110-pound cardstock, white cardstock, and this is really, really sturdy. So I'll probably use it for the bottom and then just decorate it, and then use the regular cardstock for the lids. But anyway, like I was saying, this is a box that I had wanted to make, and actually it's been on my list for a while. So I made the box, I made the lid, I cut the lid out first, and then I took a die, and I took this large die right here, and this is just a no name brand die, and I cut the center circle out, and I glued some acetate to the back to create that window. And then on the inside, I put another piece of, this is a different collection, but that's what I wanted it for. I wanted it so that when people look inside, after they've used their goodies that I plan to fill them with, they still have a really pretty box to look at, or, you know, just even use it in another, you know, project of theirs, or, you know, send it off in, you know, their swaps or whatever. But again, I just put some flowers on there. There's a little doily, the trim on the top, and this is the 65-pound cardstock. So, you know, I wanted it to be a little bit more sturdy. I originally left it white, but I thought, you know what, let me add this little band at the bottom. So I added the band, and it goes all the way across. It's not in sections the way this is. This one is all the way across. So I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to make one of these. Okay, so for the lid, you need a 6x6 sheet of cardstock, and of course we all have 6x6 paper pads, and you could just use that. You don't have to, you know, cut anything off. But this again is from the same what did I say, Bo Bunny. And I just, of course, so if you have a 12x12, you can get 4 lids out of the one 12x12 sheet. So this one's already cut down to 6x6. And this is the bottom. This is the 65-pound cardstock, or another cardstock of your choice. So for the bottom, you're going to cut it at 7 7/8. So 7 7/8, which is right there. And 7 7/8 by 7 7/8. So go to the 7/8 again. There you go. And that is all the cutting that you need to do as far as your cutter goes. And then you're going to score. Scoring is super easy. So on your lid, for your lid, you are going to score all the way around 1 inch. So go score it 1 inch, 1 inch. My head is normally a lot closer to my projects than it is now, so sorry if it doesn't go well. Okay, so that is our 1 inch score all the way around. And at this point, that's when, if you're going to cut the window out, at this point is when you would do it. You'd take, of course, your die, and you'd center it to wherever you want, whatever shape you're going to do, and then run it through your machine. That's how you get your window. And then on your 7 7/8, you are going to take your paper, and you are going to score at 1.5 all the way around. Let me make sure, because I didn't write that down. I was just making them like a mad woman. So let me, where is my ruler? Okay, so let me see what I did score it at. And make sure before I start to lie. Oh, score at 2 inches all the way around. Sorry about that. So you score at 2 inches. 2 inches. Okay. Turn it every 2 inches. And then 2 inches. Okay, and that becomes your bottom. Okay. So you're done scoring, and then you take your scissors, and you are going to cut any of the sides, but whatever. If you cut this side, you need to cut this one. If you cut this side, you need to cut this one. So just make sure you're at the same side when it comes to cutting. So you cut right on that inside score line down to the line, and then just cut a little piece out just to make it lay a little flatter. You do that to this end, a little bit out, and then you do the opposite end Take a little piece out. Inside of that score line. And there you go. So your bottom piece, that's all you do. Your top piece, you're going to do the same. I realize these score lines are kind of hard for you to see, but I'm cutting it just like the other one. Okay, right inside that score line, up to the next score line. And then you cut your little sliver out. And then you do the opposite end. Okay, so there we go. That's all the cutting we need to do. So then we're going to assemble our box and score your lines well. My allergies, I don't know where you guys are at, but my allergies are so bad right now. I'm allergic to the molds, and it's been raining the last couple of days. And I took some medication that makes me sleepy, of course. Okay, so we have creased all of our lines. And I did use glue for, you know, to adhere everything. So I'm going to continue to use glue. Okay, so your box is going to go this way, right here, like that. You're going to glue that down, then you're going to glue these down. So let me glue the first set of flaps. And I like to get right to the corner so that they don't come loose, because we want the box to have a long life. Because, you know, we like to preserve our work. Okay, so there's that one, and that goes inside. Fold it over. There's that one. You fold this over, and there's that one. Just hold it there for a second. Let the glue adhere. And I was just amazed, guys, because you know my measurements are, I'm not good at measurements, you know that. So I was pretty proud of myself. I was able to figure this out. Right to the edge. Okay, and then we fold this over and just make sure that your corners are straight, you know, and you're gonna get a, you know, a square box. Okay, and that's it for the lid. You know, I did not realize that boxes were this easy, but yeah, they are. So okay, there's our lid, and then we're gonna do the same with our bottom piece. Fold your score lines. You know, and you want a crisp line so that you know what you're lining up and whatnot. And on this one, I did do one additional thing, and I'll show you here in a little bit. Just because there's nothing wrong with it, but my OCD, guys, you know my OCD. Just there's some things that it prevents me from leaving alone. Okay, so there's our box, and again, this one we are going to fold over, glue the ends, and fold it over. Okay, but I have a problem with the bottom piece, because I don't know if you can tell, but the flaps, they overlay a little bit. One lays on top of the other, just a smidge. And I have a problem with that. The first one I left alone. This, you know, after the first one, I just couldn't. I just cut a little sliver off of each tab. Of course, you know, this is optional because I'm like that. So there we go. Just cut off just a little sliver. And then we're going to go ahead and glue these. I just feel like the wet glue probably does a better job. May just be me. But of course, you know, you're free to use whatever adhesive you'd like, whatever. Okay. Whatever gets your crafty on. And then you fold it over. Make sure they're even. And okay, so I see that I didn't cut perfectly even. Like I said, my head is always right in the center of my work surface, work area, my project, and so it looks like I cut this one just a little short. Okay guys, there's that end. And see how it does not overlap anymore? Yeah, funny like that. Okay. And then we go ahead and put this down. Make sure your edges are straight. You know, if I really wanted to, I could just trim all the way around, but I'm not going to. Or who knows, maybe after the video I will. Okay, so there is your bottom half of the box. There's your lid. Nice and snug. And it is good to go, guys. There you go. Nice and simple. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will talk to you later, guys. Thanks a lot.